All right, so let's get into this Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, move to Colorado and what it means for HBCUs in general. What's up, everybody? I'm Trigger Mike. Let me do a little bit of housekeeping. Please, if you have not already, subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button on this video. So back to Coach Prime. I'm indifferent about the situation altogether. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about it because Deion Sanders is a character. Okay, Coach Prime is a character. We've known that since his days of playing football, professional football himself in the NFL for the multiple teams he played for. Prolific football player. Kind of, in a way changed the narrative on defense and defensive players and their popularity in the game of American football. So he became the coach of Jackson State University, which is an HBCU. I went to an HBCU. Shout out to Norfolk State University. All right, so that whole narrative about HBCUs and how we're overlooked and how our athletes aren't given the proper opportunities to really participate at the pro level because of the exposure, that's all very near and dear to my heart and something that's always I felt like more attention should be paid. So let's go all the way back to when Deion Sanders announced that he was going to be the head coach of the football team for Jackson State University. I thought immediately, wow. And most of the community and people who have gone to HBCUs thought that here comes this prolific NFL Hall of Famer coming to coach an HBCU team in Mississippi, of all places. Very little resources, couldn't pay him what he was worth, but he went ahead and did it anyway. We thought it was because he was trying to give the exposure and bring the notoriety that HBCU schools can optimally live up to, right? So you get the right recruits, you get the top recruits, which they actually did. They got a few top recruits. All right, so that is supposed to bring television dollars. That's supposed to bring advertising dollars. That's supposed to bring booster dollars to build new stadiums, sell better merchandise, all of that. We thought that was what this move was about. And ultimately, it was supposed to also make it attractive for other black NFL players who want to be coaches to see HBCUs as an actual option. All right, so if you have all of these prolific players, great head coaches from the NFL that are black coming into HBCUs, it's going to increase the profile of these schools, which it actually did for Jackson State anyway. So I'm going to be honest, I don't really understand this move to Colorado because Coach Prime, like I said, is a character. People have been saying this is kind of who he is. It's really not about the school. It's more about him. And I feel like this particular move is lending itself to that narrative. I'm not going to knock him for it. He made a statement basically saying something like, if you're either being elevated or terminated as a coach. And that's kind of a true statement. There are very few examples where someone leaves on good terms when they're not winning. So you either level up when you are winning and can get a better opportunity, or you're eventually going to be terminated for the team not doing well. So I definitely understand that statement. But I still feel like Deion Sanders is proving most of his doubters right. Most of his doubters said this is not about increasing the profile and notoriety of historically black colleges and universities. It's about using HBCUs to increase his own profile. I'm not making a judgment either way as to that's what he's doing, but it doesn't help that narrative right now. He's helping that narrative out right now with these actions, with these moves he's making. So Colorado, I don't know. I really don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that, really works out. But Deion, I don't understand this move. I'm just going to be real with you. You were on the cusp of doing something greater for the people. And ultimately you did increase the profile and create a narrative and a pipeline for other coaches. But now they're saying he's looking to bring players with him. He's looking to bring those same coaches with him. So everybody that he's groomed to replace him might also be gone, which really makes this move questionable. So I'm not sure I understand fully what his goal is, but this also puts the pressure on other former NFL players and high-profile coaches. Will you make this same move? Because now that you see that a few top recruits will follow you, top recruits will follow you to these schools if you are there because of your NFL connections. You can make a call and get them the exposure, the scouting needed to get them into the NFL if they have the skills to be there. So, you know, Coach Prime, thank you for creating that pipeline, bringing attention to HBCUs, even if it's, you know, in a small sense and the small amount of time that you did this. But I feel personally like you should have stayed longer. You had more work to be done. You just won a SWAC championship. You had more work to be done. Nobody would have called you somebody who's declining if you would have stayed 1 to 2 more years. What I really feel personally, and I'll say this before I end the video, you should have stayed to see out the college career of the first people that you recruited. I personally feel like coaches in general do get attached to players, and they feel personally responsible for their advancement, not only academically, but professionally. That is basically what a college head coach does. A very small part of their job is coaching on the field. It's coaching them off the field. That's why parents want people to go play for certain coaches. This coach is known to be just as involved with your life and your career off the field as he is on. So I felt like if you were going to leave on a high note, Deion Sanders, you should have said, let me see out, let me graduate my very first set of recruits here at Jackson State, then my obligation is finished. That's my personal opinion. Let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments. Once again, this is Trigger Mike. Like and subscribe to the channel for more content such as this. Appreciate it, y'all.